All right, now we are live. And Ethan's mad because I basically said that we're here to talk shit to him, even though our team's lost too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not mad. I just was pointing out facts.
I'm not
We're
mad.
all here for the pod.
Yeah, the pod's always more fun when all of our teams lose.
I'm not sure I agree with that, but it's fine.
I guess it's the most fun when they all win, but
That's true.
Yeah,
I don't know. According to Sydney, she was pretty happy that the Aggies lost.
I was happy. I was happy. I needed everybody to have a loss here.
Be like, I'm not the only one angry.
We can't all be too happy here around here.
Hence, battered Aggie syndrome.
I'm just saying, my team, we were the closest against the best team. So technically, we were the best this week.
So you won the week.
Yeah, we won the week.
Right.
That makes you feel better.
Transitive property. We're going back. We're getting a callback here to earlier in the year.
Are y'all going to beat Texas this weekend? Pretty please.
I think so. Yeah,
That's gonna be me next week.
I think so, yeah.
Whoa.
Except for the difference, you have a starting quarterback that's not hurt.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
My quarterback's hurt.
Oh, I didn't realize that Taylor was hurt.
Yeah, my quarterback's out currently.
Yeah. Man, when DJ went down, it was like a sniper took him out, but it also was just like a bullet through the heart of every fan in the Florida fan base. And then if you didn't think like the gaping chest wound of watching him lying on the ground holding his hamstring wasn't bad enough, Scott Strickland came along and it's just like, you know what? Fuck y'all. Here's some salt. I'm just going to rub it in all of your wounds. And you got to deal with it for another year.
Yeah.
Yay.
And then the very next day, now our basketball coach is going to be getting fired.
Yeah, so. I was gonna bring that up.
I didn't get to read it because I was, working with the children, and I didn't want to read something that was going to make me have an interesting reaction while children are present. So I need someone to tell me what happened.
Basically, he's a major creep.
Yeah, big slime ball. Multiple allegations, pretty damning of him essentially cyber stalking and then sometimes also real life stalking, like
girls on campus,
students tagging their location on campus and him being like, "Oh, I'm gonna be waiting for you," and like sending them pictures of like
things.
No, well, things, but also like of themselves, like real creepy stuff, man.
That I'm uncomfy.
Wait, do you think you're not gonna get caught? You're the basketball coach.
Like what? I hope. Okay, I'm not gonna make light of the situation at all. If he has the audacity to think that he could get away with it, hopefully he at least used a burner, right? Like, hopefully this is at least like a Joey Freshwater situation to where he's young. He's like 39. Like, I know that's not super young, but he's young enough to know if you're DMing people on Instagram, like
they're gonna find you.
They're gonna find you, yeah. Especially if you're trying to tell people like they're like your good luck charm and stuff. Like, you're basically acknowledging who you are and sending pictures of yourself and stuff. I don't know. It's pretty mind-boggling, really. Yeah.
Every time I hear, this is off topic, but it still makes me laugh. Every time I hear the word mind-boggling, I think of my great grandmother who was convinced that it was mind-bottling. Like, your mind, it's in a bottle, and I was like, "Oh my, what?"
Mind-bottling.
She's like, "It's mind-bottling." I'm like, no,
That's
no,
funny.
it's not. Like, honey, no. Now, mind you, she came from Germany and was very, like, some of the things that we said still to the day she died, she had no understanding of. She's like, "I don't get it. It's weird. Stop it." Like, all right, well, sorry.
So is Homeboy getting fired?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it seems like an inevitability.
Right.
Just because like what there seems to be ample evidence that what they're saying happened, right? Like they're saying like, hey, he sent me stuff that I didn't want and like said things I didn't want and would send me pictures of myself out in public and stuff like that. And so, and it's not just one person, right? So it's not like a he said, she said. It's literally like text messages, screenshots, DMs.
He said, they said.
Yeah, there's multiple people. So it's like, if like at that point, it's kind of like, okay, well, this is a pattern. Like, it's just
It's gross.
But Scott Strickland also has to be booted out because this is the third time. This is the third instance of a coach that he hired having a issue towards women. Like our old women's basketball coach Cam Neubauer got fired for abusing his players, not like throwing basketballs at them and like cussing at them really inappropriately and stuff. And then our soccer coach got fired for similar things. And now we have our men's basketball coach being a perv.
Yeah,
Guys,
you got to replace the man.
It's just, when does the pain end? Like, it's impossible just to be normal. Like, why? I feel like is this how Arkansas fans felt when Bobby Petrino was like up at that podium with a neck brace on and everybody knows what happened and it's just like Bobby, like, which there's was he in the wrong? Sure, but the situations aren't even comparable, right? Like you can't even this guy can't even be seen on the sidelines again after this.
Ruined his career.
Hope it was worth it.
Weirdo, man.
Weirdo, yeah. He's a Bruce Pearl disciple, too. Just throwing that out there. Not saying anything, but also Bruce Pearl disciple. Somebody made the observation that if you hire the young Bruce Pearl as a coach, you may also be hiring the young Bruce Pearl as a person. And I thought that was a pretty astute observation.
Nice. Yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
A&M women's basketball lost their first game of the season that we were favored to win by 97%.
So did Arkansas.
It was like, cool. I hate everything. And then the men lost to UCF, but UCF at least is not in our university system. We lost to A&M Corpus. I'm upset.
Yeah. Hey, our girls beat A&M Commerce. Is that even what they're called anymore?
It's like East Texas A&M University or something like that, which is weird as hell.
Yeah. And then our girls, I'm going to go see them play UALR on Monday, and I hope they don't lose in our own system. Also. What? I could see it.
0 out of 10 would not recommend. I was watching the men's game because I was like, I don't need to watch the women's game. They'll win. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then the men shit the bed. And I was like, okay, let me check in on the girls. I was like, what the actual?
South Carolina men lost their season opener too.
My favorite part of A&M losing their season opener for men's basketball is that Texas fans were all like, ha ha, and then they lost to Ohio State.
So I have a question for y'all real quick.
Okay.
So I know Texas has a bunch of universities in their university system similar to like California, but like Arkansas, how many kind of maybe not like FBS level programs, but like D1 basketball and baseball level maybe universities do y'all have? Because like Florida doesn't have any.
UALR, they make the tournament randomly.
And Pine Bluff, is that part of it too?
Pine Bluff is, yeah. UALR, UAPB, Those are probably like the biggest, and then there's like
Okay, so
UA
like
Monticello or something.
okay, it's like 2 or 3. Gotcha.
Yeah.
We have
Because it's
11.
like so you have 11. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Because like California probably has about that many too, if not more. But like Florida, the way our university system is set up, we have a bunch of huge universities, but we don't have like a cohesive university system.
Yeah.
And so like FSU has like an offshoot campus here on like a community college campus that you can get like a bachelor's degree from, but they don't have a basketball team. It's not like a separate university, you know. So it's always interesting to me I know this is a total tangent, but it's always interesting to me to have that like university system hate too, because ours is just like FSU in Miami, and then you have like the directional schools, but they're not like we're all our independent universities.
Yeah, we have UCA, Central Arkansas, but I don't think they're like direct university, and they're FCS, or they might even be D2 now. I don't remember.
Fun fact: Tarleton State is in our system, and their fans are like head of the I Hate A&M committee, and I'm like, we pay for you to exist. Like, stop. They made shirts that say "Friends don't let friends go to A&M." And I was like, okay, that would be funny if we didn't pay for you to exist. Like if you were in the UT system, sure, but you're not. So this is weird.
Interesting. Arkansas State is not in the system, but they're the second biggest school here.
It's A&M, Prairie View, A&M Commerce, Tarleton State, West Texas A&M, A&M Kingsville, A&M Corpus, International, Texarkana, Central Texas, and San Antonio. I don't think most of those schools have sports. I don't think they do. And then Galveston and Qatar are straight up like extensions of A&M. Like they are not their own school. They are Sea Aggies and then whatever Qatar calls themselves.
Sea Aggies.
So they're the only ones that actually get Aggie rings and all that jazz.
Oh.
So that's how that works.
Interesting.
Let's see. Anywho's. So Ole Miss absolutely killed y'all, Sid.
Yeah, it was bad. That game, I wasn't going to go, but one of my friends wanted to go just for the game and come back, so we went up Friday night.
Not worth it?
Wow. I mean, it was...
If you're a Dart fan, it was worth it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, everyone was just dead. Like, whenever it was... they just ran away with it. Our secondary died, non-existent. That Watson or whatever his name is, number 11, just flew every single time. And then like they scored on the opening drive of the second half, and everyone got up and left. That was it.
You're like, I'm good.
We stayed till there were like 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and then we were like, it was like 48-17, and we were like, we're out of here. But Jalen went down in the second quarter, and then we were kind of watching him on the sidelines, and he didn't play at all the second half. But our backup he did really well to be like thrown against Ole Miss. So that was promising to see. But that's the only promising thing that I saw with my two eyes.
That's how I felt about Marcel Reed in the bowl game last year when Jalen Henderson went down and Connor was already hurt. And they were like, here's Marcel Reed.
Yeah. I was like, anything you do, I'll probably be impressed with. But he scored a couple touchdowns, had like 200 and some yards. So I was happy with it.
There you go. Of course, if you
Our defense is horrible. I don't know what happened to them. They died after one game, and I don't know which one it was, but they've been dead for a couple games now.
They died.
They died.
I honestly, though, if you would have told me at the end of that bowl game that Marcel Reed would have been our best bet at quarterback this year, not sure I would have pegged that one.
Wild.
I mean, we had no options against South Carolina because we didn't play defense.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Lamar Sellers was going crazy in the first bit of it.
Oh my god. It was so sad. So sad.
Ethan,
Yes.
how are
Sorry.
you?
I'm good. I had a work email that distracted me. Sorry about that. Yeah,
I thought
Marcel
he
Reed tore us apart. I would definitely go with Marcel Reed. I'm sad about quarterbacks overall, so I really don't even want to talk about quarterbacks. As you can tell by my tagline slash avatar combo here, the quarterback situation in Florida pains me quite a bit.
Yikes.
Uh, what's funny is we have a kid on our roster. His name is Clay Millen. And the guy that's actually going to be starting for us, most likely, apparently DJ Lagway is going to warm up, but isn't going to be playing. So it's just stupid, but whatever. Um, he played at Yale. He really wasn't even a starter at Yale. Transferred to Florida as a walk on. Okay, so this is the guy that started. The other guy who apparently has just stopped existing. Apparently was a freshman All American at Colorado State, right? But he was pretty not good, and he got benched as a sophomore and really didn't really play a whole lot. But people are like, "Oh, he was a freshman All-American. What's up with this kid?" And I'm not even sure that this guy's still on the team at this point. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like we're in pretty dire straits at quarterback, and there hasn't even been a mention of this kid getting a rep. We had a similar thing happen with Jack Miller, who was like a transfer from Ohio State, and he had like some random thumb injury. And then we got down to like our third string quarterback, and it should have been him. And then it was like, oh no, we have some walk on from Tampa. And it's like, wait, what? Oh, we have Marco Rubio's son coming out to take snaps.
Excuse me?
Marco Rubio's son is on our team.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Marco Rubio's son could be the starting quarterback at Florida.
Wow.
If
Christ.
about 4 or 5 more people get hurt.
Which
I mean, it's like
Somehow
Marco
Florida.
Rubio's like claim to the presidency. It's like if like 110 people, go missing, Marco Rubio's right there.
I love how he doesn't say dies. They just go missing.
I'm not trying to get put on a list. I'm just making a lighthearted joke. These are tumultuous times. I'm not even trying to like wade into that. So I like caught myself halfway through that like we're doing like a live show. This is going to be recorded. And I was like, you know what? I probably shouldn't make this, even though there's a whole movie about it, right? Like I'm not sure if you guys ever saw the Triple X State of the Union movie. Basically, the plot of it is Vin Diesel has to like save Congress because somebody wants to like blow up Congress or something, and so that they become the next president. So they're gonna like that's the only place that everybody's in one spot is the State of the Union, just like the name of the movie, right? Um,
There's a musical Assassin that literally is about the presidents that were assassinated. It was supposed to come out in September of 2001.
Awkward.
That didn't happen.
Whoa.
But it's come out now. It came out a couple years after that. I've never seen it, but we talked about it in my history musical class. And
Did it actually come out, or is this like a Mandela effect?
No, my professor said it came out. I don't know. I didn't go look it up because I don't really care that much.
True.
All right. I love that I didn't close the app or the tab that said A&M University System, and I looked up and I was like, "What? Oh yeah, we went off on that tangent." Let's see. Oklahoma killed Maine. Oklahoma killed Maine. That wasn't exciting. Vanderbilt and Auburn. Is Auburn waking up enough to beat A&M just because? Because I'm going to try.
This is the thing about Auburn. Auburn, they're always just awake enough to ruin somebody's season. Now, admittedly, you guys kind of already had that stumble with South Carolina this weekend, but you still have a chance, right? If you win out, there's still a chance that you can, go to the CFP or whatever. Auburn always has enough talent and enough of a pain in the ass team to just screw somebody over. Like they just have no business, and Auburn always does that. Where it's like, is Auburn waking up? And then you think that Auburn's going to do something, and they lose to Vanderbilt or they lose to New Mexico State, and you're like, oh no, that's Auburn. Can they beat Alabama and Georgia? They sure can.
Yeah.
And they also lose to Vanderbilt and New Mexico State? They sure can. That's Auburn.
We play New Mexico State, obviously not this week, it's bye week, but next week. And I'm a little scared.
Don't be.
Because New Mexico State. After App State, I'm a little scared all the time.
Oh,
That's fair.
Battered Aggie syndrome. Do you want to talk about Georgia, Florida, or should we just let it go?
No, I mean, okay. Did we win the game? No, I thought we played pretty well. I mean, we really did have a chance. We really had Georgia's ass. They were sweating it. Like, is it a moral victory? Sure. Is it not? Is it good enough? No. Should we have fired Billy Napier? Yes. All of those things are my opinion. But also, the team continues to play hard. They continue to show spunk that they did not show against Miami and Texas A&M. I mean, I don't know what change was implemented during the bye weeks, but we have documented proof. But they were concerned momentarily. We'll at least put it that way. But they did not have a fun first half at a minimum. But once DJ got hurt, once our defense had to make 5, 6, 7 stops in a row to keep us in the game, like it's kind of impossible to do that in modern football. Even if you stop a team 2/3 of the time they have the ball, they're still going to put up 30 on you. If they score touchdowns and are efficient. So it's like eventually the defense just wore down. Aiden Warner, I don't know how this kid is our quarterback, but this really does feel a lot like 2013 when we went from Jeff Driscoll to fucking Skylar Morningwig. And if you're asking who's Skylar Morningwig, exactly. Skylar Morningwig, I just watched this movie, actually. This is actually a very good movie. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, we've gone from like seasoned veteran player to like highly ranked freshman quarterback, and now we're down to like the walk-on kid, to where you're just like, man, just don't get CTE. Like we're cooked. Like, don't be a hero. Like, okay, he's already said he's coming back next year. It doesn't matter. DJ Lagway's hurt. Graham Mertz is hurt. Like, just be safe. Have fun. Beat FSU. Find a way to upset one of the other 3 teams, and don't get CTE. That's my pregame speech. That's my pregame speech to the Gators for the rest of the season. It's just have fun.
If they beat FSU, he doesn't care.
Yeah. Be friends. Don't spit on anybody again.
Again.
And just have fun out there. Be kids and beat FSU.
But don't kids spit on each other? Is that not a thing?
Yes, but after a certain point, no.
After a certain point.
Got it.
Mississippi State and UMass was not exciting because neither of those teams is good.
Yeah.
We've talked about A&M and South Carolina. Shelbie cried a lot. Like a lot. But it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's literally the second you put expectations and A&M together, it goes like this. Like, there's no questions. That's why I'm scared to death of baseball season, because there's expectations out the ass.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. Tennessee and Kentucky. I really wanted Kentucky to win that game. Sorry, our Tennessee friends. But I just, as they were hanging around for a minute, and I was like, But no. It didn't happen. I'm sad.
Yeah.
I is sad. All right, next week. Or this week, not next week, like tomorrow, because we're a couple days behind.
Just a little bit.
Let's see. Texas and Florida, how you feeling?
Pretty good. I think Texas is massively overrated.
True.
Unfortunately, I am legitimately concerned that we're going to lose our scoring streak. I jokingly said that I thought Georgia might do it, but we have enough skill players, enough talent. Our O-line's playing well enough that we were able to at least score some points, but our offense still wasn't very good. And without DJ Lagway or Graham Mertz, we're super cooked. So, I think our defense is going to be able to hold them to 20 or so points. I'm not sure if our offense is able to score 20 points. So I think that unless we get like some pick sixes or something, we're only going to win by like 3.
There you go. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not how I thought that was going, but we're going to go with it.
See, I had you in the first half. And then, both of you, I could tell that you both thought that was a concession speech. But no, actually, instead of my usual overly confident 17-point prediction, I'm bringing it down to 3 just because we're on our third string quarterback. So 3 points, third string quarterback.
There you go. I love it.
Gotcha.
Georgia and Ole Miss.
I can root for Ole Miss to win again. Now that we're not going to be hiring Lane Kiffin. So now I can just root for Ole Miss to upset Georgia and make the playoffs. I don't have to care anymore. So, yeah, I'm going Ole Miss.
I just really don't want Ole Miss in the playoffs.
I don't want anybody in the playoffs, honestly. Once my
I don't either. Cancel the playoffs. Nobody gets to go.
Like, once my team can't make the playoffs, like, I don't want anybody in.
I can't have nice things.
Yeah,
everybody lose.
Yes, nobody has fun if I don't have fun.
That's how whenever the Cowboys got eliminated from the playoffs last year, my mom was like, "Aren't you going to root for the Ravens for Faisal?" And I was like, "No."
Absolutely not.
So if I go get nice things, you don't get nice things. Same thing with the Rangers not making the playoffs. I was like, "No, I'm not rooting for the Orioles. No." Get out of here. No.
I bet that'll be a really good game.
It'll be fun to watch, I think. That'll be one of the games I actually tune into.
Yeah. What time is that game?
2:30 on ABC.
Today's basketball day. Tomorrow's a basketball day for me. No football.
No football for you. Let's see. South Carolina and Vandy. Vandy's going to fuck around and win this game.
Yeah, they are. It's at Vandy.
Yes, Mitch. I'm going to send you the link. Don't worry. Mitch wants to come talk.
Yay.
I'll be excited.
I can't even. I wanted to transition to basketball, but I can't. Like, I can't even have
fun. Now your basketball coach is a creepo.
And now I just have to wait for baseball season to.
We play 8th-ranked Baylor in Dallas. In Dallas's American Airlines Center tomorrow. I'm very excited to watch.
Oh. You're at the AAC. That's exciting.
You should go, Shelby. Are you near there?
I am, technically. It's about a 30-minute train, about a 30-minute to 45-minute train ride, like the DART train. If I decide to go, we'll see.
That'd be cool.
Look into it. And by that, I mean I will lay on my couch and do nothing.
The first basketball game I ever went to was at the AC.
Oh, cool.
It's Mitch.
Hey, everybody.
Look at that.
Hey!
Winter Wonderland.
Bro, the sun is out and it's snowing. Like, that's crazy.
Is the sun out? I haven't seen it in a few days.
It looks, though, compared to where it looks like at my house, the sun is out.
It must be snow.
the thing is the thing that's crazy about this is the snow is so reflective of light that and at nighttime there's so much light around us, that like it looks like this at midnight. I'm not kidding. Like the midnight sun out here.
Where are you, Mitch?
I am in Denver Metro.
Okay.
So in Centennial, specifically.
Fancy.
Yeah, super, super fancy. But man, this stuff has been going for 2 days now. Or actually, what did it say? Friday? It started Wednesday, and it's supposed to finish up tomorrow sometime.
There you go.
We got, I don't know, in places in the yard, it's like maybe 3 feet deep, and other places not so much, but also because it's blocked by trees in the house and whatnot. I'll show you this. I'll show you this tree over here.
It is crazy. It looks like it's just broad daylight.
I love this.
I'm like, my mind is just blown right now.
I'm still laughing when he asked us if it was snowing here.
I know. I was like,
no.
Come on now.
So I got a story. All right, real quick. There's a guy who lives across the street from me, and when we first moved here, we're unloading the U-Haul, and I'm like putting the dolly back in the truck, getting ready to drive it to the drop-off place, and I look across the street, and there's a big red Georgia flag in front of this one house, and I'm like, "Oh, buddy!" So I go over to the guy's house, right, and I'm like, "Hello, friend," and so I chatted with this guy. He's from Flowery Branch, which is where the Falcons have their training camp. And he moved to Colorado because he's a professional snowboarder.
Nice.
Oh, I love this.
So his name is Gage Fletcher, if anybody wants to look him up. Shout out Gage. Anyway, I was going to get the kids from school yesterday. They had the day off from school today. And so I was going to get them from school yesterday, and I passed by Gage's house. And this joker is out in his yard, like in short sleeves and a little beanie hat, and he's building a mound of snow. And I'm just like, what is going on? I'm just giving him the, hey, go dogs, and I just keep moving. And then when I come back with the kids, we're walking along. How was your day? What did you have for lunch? Doing all that stuff. And we look over, and Gage is out with his his snowboard, doing like little jumps off of his little ramp. It's like his waist high, snowboarding ramp that he constructed himself.
I love that.
That's awesome.
That's what's happening in my life.
What a wild ride.
Yeah, dude, my whole freaking life is. But it's like the season. This year's Georgia season is a microcosm of my life. It's like everything's working out great, but it's like so bumpy.
Well, it's fine. I'm fine.
You never know what the ending's gonna be at the end of the day.
No, I suspect that it's going to be either monumentally good or catastrophic. One or the other of those things, and nothing in the middle. Right?
The Aggies are the same. I feel you,
dude. So I'm happy to be on talking with you guys because I wanted to actually go over some of the games from last week, but I can't wait to talk about the games that we have coming up. Shelbie, I saw your team's demise before you did. Okay. Ethan, I cannot believe that they went ahead and said Napier is our guy. That is absolutely astonishing to me. I totally get like the guys are playing hard for him, and if they can him right now, they're going to lose the roster, etc. But like, also, the recruiting is awful right now. 51st, something like that. Not even. It's bad. However, I do believe, and I do want this to be true so badly. I want you guys to get bowl eligible so badly. So there's that. I think it could happen against LSU. I think it could maybe happen against Ole Miss. It's going to depend on what happens with LSU and Alabama and Ole Miss and Georgia this weekend. I think that Alabama and Georgia have the ability to beat teams twice. And, you guys are going to have the victims. You can go in and mop them up, I think. I know that you want Ole Miss to beat us, and that makes me sad. But yesterday marked the 4-year mark of the last time a team not named Alabama beat Georgia. And Lane Kiffin has shown a knack for not beating big teams, you know?
Yeah.
Screw Lane Kiffin.
There's
I
just,
hate him.
I just have to tell myself that, yes, eventually everything regresses to the mean, but the mean seems to be that Georgia wins and Kiffin loses. So,
So this is my take on kind of combining both of those points. I feel like if you look at the coaching carousel this year, who do you go to and hand the keys to and say, you know what, within the next 3 years, this guy's going to be beating Georgia, Texas, and Alabama?
for Florida,
For Florida, Ryan Day. I mean, so Florida had exactly. Like, who do you go to? Right? There isn't anybody. There
isn't anybody that you guys are going to be able to get that's going to just right out of the box beat Georgia. And by beat Georgia, I mean beat Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, the teams with established rosters and established recruits.
And that's why I said 3 years, right? I think that within the first 2 years, you should be showing the ability to beat Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri.
Yeah.
Maybe not the top 2 or 3 teams, but you should consistently beat everyone else and then have a puncher's chance against those teams with established rosters until you have the chance to develop your own established roster. And right now, there's really 5 to 6 rosters across the country that probably have that combination of established depth through high school recruiting mixed with excellent portaling for needs, right? Like Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, maybe that's it, right? Like even Penn State has some athletic shortcomings and they don't really have a great offense.
Once you get past that list that you just made, you can start poking holes in it. But those rosters that you just named are not too big to fail, but they're about as close as you can get to too big to fail.
So of that list, you got Dan Lanning, who is going to demand a gigantic buyout from Oregon.
Can't afford him.
Ryan Day is at one of the premier. He has no reason to want to leave.
Right.
And the only connection to Florida was a single season as a GA under Urban Meyer.
Right.
So it's not like he's an alum, right? So then you're getting to that tier of like, you're already going to that next tier, and they're going to command $10 to $12 million a year to leave whatever job they're at to come somewhere else. Then you're paying the buyout. Then you're paying the assist. So the whole thing would have cost about $40 million to fire everybody this year.
Yes.
So you're looking at close to $70 to $80 million plus having to fund another 20 to 30 million in NIL to change coaches. And I think Auburn's dealing with the same thing. And Auburn's NIL is much better than ours.
You're talking about spending that money not to be a winner. That's just spending that money to like float.
Not lose.
That's to roll the dice again.
Right.
Yeah, like that's you're betting on red or black after coming up, like you crapped out. Now you're betting again because you're saying, well, I can't lose again. And it's like, okay, look in the mirror and say, maybe Dan Mullen in today's environment would have been more successful and we fired him too early.
Bro,
right?
Listen, we clowned on Mullen. I'm talking Georgia fans clowned on Mullen because of recruiting season and all, all the shenanigans and the Darth Vader and all that stuff. We clowned on him. But the fact is, when Mullen left, that last year he was there, the recruiting class ranking, I want to say, was a top 15 class. And then the year that you guys beat us, 2020, I think that he signed a top 10 class, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong about that? I think he had 2 classes back to back that were top 15.
Yeah, I think all of his classes were top 15.
But and so the clowning was
and see even worse than that, Mitch. Not to cut you off, but if you actually go and look at those classes, go and look at the number of guys who never even actually made it to campus or even made it to fall camp, right? So his best class was headlined by guys like Chris Steele and Jalen Jones, who never even made it to fall camp. And you go and you look and it's like, okay, yes, it's top 15. But when you remove 7 of the top 15 players in the class because they literally never played a snap for the University of Florida, that's what the classes actually look like. And every school can do this, right? Like, this is what makes Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Oregon's rosters so stacked, is because for the past 4 and 5 years, every position has had 4 or 5-star guys. If you bring in a 3-star, he's probably going to be developed, or he's a raw prospect that's going to grow up.
Right.
And that's why those rosters are like that. Everybody else, all three, A&M's probably been the best recruiting team maybe in that next tier, like that Clemson LSU tier, right? And so, but even then, you get a couple of injuries and everybody in the country outside of those 5 rosters, you're fucked. Like, there's really no other way to put it, because it's like your backups are like walk-ons and 3-star guys who maybe played 1 year of football.
Yeah,
because
my brother-in-law was asking me, because I'm trying to convert him into a Georgia fan, right? But he was asking me, he's like, so what does Georgia do? Like, what is their skill? What am I looking at here? And I said, it's depth. And he was like, depth isn't a skill. And I'm like,
the heck it's not.
You get to this part of the year, buddy, everybody's beat up and banged up, right? And you know, we've sort of had a really backward season. You know, like if you could see our injury report, like after the Clemson game or after that second week, that Tennessee Tech game, our injury report was like a mile long and nobody talked about it, right? And then suddenly Georgia's in a dogfight with Kentucky, you know, and it's like, well, you know, I'm not here to make excuses, but ETN's not in the game. You know, we don't have any linemen out there. You know, Michael Williams is banged up. You know, he got hurt against Clemson, and he came back for Bama and played a little bit, but then when he was back on the field for Texas, suddenly you see what happens when he's out there on the field, you know? And so now you look at our injury list and it's like, you know, the same guys who were out all season, of course, but like there's really, I mean, the list is only like 4 or 5 names. There's not really like a lot of guys on that list. So we're like ascending in the health department, whereas a lot of teams are starting to wear down, you know? I hated to see Moss go down. Shelbie, I mean, Sydney, you guys' quarterback got hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ethan, dude, injuries, for God's sakes. Do you guys have enough players to field a team this week? You know? And so that's what I was telling Cole. I was like, you know, it's depth. That's the thing that Georgia has. Like, yeah, we can mess around and lose a game, and you know that could happen or whatever. But like when you get to that part of the season where the games start to matter, or it just means more, you know. Georgia's roster is ready for that, you know?
Yeah, we're now down 2 running backs because Reuben Owens was hurt for the beginning of the season in fall camp, and now Le'Veon's out, and we all know E.J. Smith is not it.
Yeah. Well, how many did you have to start with?
4.
4? Okay.
We had Reuben, Moss, Amari Daniels, and E.J. Smith.
So Etienne's banged up. He got ribs hurt. We don't know how much he's going to play or how effective he's going to be. Both of the Robinson guys are out and have been out all year. Nate Frazier's a freshman. He's our 4th string, and he's splitting carries with Etienne right now. And then we have Cash Jones. You guys know who Cash Jones is?
Number 32.
Number 32, baby. That's what you now know exactly the same amount I know about Cash.
I know there's one more piece of information that I think is relevant to identifying Cash Jones. And that, yeah, his physical appearance does not match the prototypical running back appearance.
Cash looks like he's on the team because he can arrow, right? He's the team mechanic. When the bus breaks down,
he was like an equipment manager, and they had a flat tire, and he popped out and changed the tire on the bus, and then they were like, "The fuck it, number 32, white running back, come on." Now your name is Cash Jones? Of course you're playing for the University of Georgia.
I love that.
Cash,
exactly. Tell me that's not like.
Thank you, Sydney.
that is like if you ask me like, what does the University of Georgia look like?
Wait, what did Sydney do? I missed it.
He showed us Cash.
Oh, that's him. That's the guy. He and Ladd McConkey and Stetson Bennett were carved out of the same piece of soap. That white
the ivory
soap.
Dove soap. Yeah.
They're like, hey, anybody want these football players? And they're like, I
don't know, maybe.
They don't look like football players somehow or another. They're just out there balling for no reason. Like just no reason. God bless Ladd McConkey. He is keeping my fantasy football team above water right now.
Yeah, I picked him up a couple weeks ago.
There's reasons I don't do fantasy football, and that's it. I would
Oh,
cry.
this you guys reminded me. I have a ruling with my fantasy football commissioner because. All right, hear me out. Let me get an unbiased observer's take on this. Keaton Mitchell, however you say his name, he was activated off of the IR last night before the Ravens game. He didn't actually play in the Ravens game, right? But because he was activated right before the game kicked off, I didn't move him out of my IR slot. And because of that, I can't edit my lineup because I have an eligible person in IR now. And since he played on Thursday night in the only game, I can't move him now. So I asked the commissioners to swap him out with another injured player, like on my bench, just so I can edit my roster, which I think strategically, really, it's no advantage to me, right? But also, let me hear your opinions before I sway you with my my attempts.
I mean, if I were a commissioner, I would say, yeah, man, no problem, because it doesn't look like you try. It doesn't look like you're trying to do anything nefarious. You know, it's like that was just a timing issue. You know.
Nice. Okay.
I was supposed to get fingerprinted today at. And you know, they sent me an email that was like, hey, it's really snowy and we don't think you should come and get fingerprinted. And I was like, you sure? Because I think I can make it. And they're like, nah, you can't. So we'll just see you Monday. So I think this will be a situation where if your commissioners aren't just like trying to help you out in this situation, then they're dicks, and you know you should
nice
relationship with them.
I like it. I'm glad that we're all in agreement because they replied and they were like, oh, I'll have to talk to the other commissioner. And then at that point, my anxiety starts kicking in to where it's like, wait, are they actually going to like say no to this? Like, I wouldn't even have to think about this. But also, like, I could see it being like, you know, real sticklers for the rules. Yeah, like, hey, that's part of playing fantasy football, and it is like a $85 buy-in. And
so you're playing like real fantasy?
Oh, sir, this is my 38-man roster IDP Superflex Dynasty Fantasy League.
Nothing like that for me.
Jesus.
I'll send y'all a screenshot after we wrap of what my team looks like.
We're just playing like the family league.
Yeah.
Against Heather's cousins, stuff like that. And the thing is, I feel very confident that if I wanted to like really, really go all like Rambo on these people, I could probably like take them down, you know? But that's not the goal for me. The goal for me was just to draft as many UGA players as I could in my roster. So I got Bowers and McConkey, and I got Stafford and Bennett. Those are my quarterbacks.
Oh my!
And they back each other up. So
yeah,
like, what are you gonna do? So that's my team, right? And I got the Eagles defense, right? We don't have a kicker in the league right now, so I had to settle for Will Reichert. You know, that's as close as I could get. And then one of the cousins actually drafted DeAndre Swift, and I almost murdered him. So, but anyways, like. We were having dinner the other night. Cole was like, you know, dude, I'm gonna totally win this thing. I can't believe that you're getting beat so badly. I'm like, Cole, I'm not getting beat. I successfully drafted a whole roster of all available UGA players. That was my goal. He's like,
and that's saying something that you can do that.
He's like, your goal should be to win. I'm like, nah. So what is it? Like, there's no money involved. What am I gonna do? Like, kick over your kid's high chair? You know? Jeez. But he's dominating the league, and this week we're playing, and God help him if I win this game. Hey guys, can we do some picks, because I am freezing my ass off out here?
Yes, that's what I was about to say. All right, Florida and Texas. Mitch, who you got?
Wait, when you say who do I got, who do I think will win?
Yes,
Texas.
Mitch, Ethan said they were going to win by 3. Florida.
Yeah, I heard. Well, I don't think that Florida's got the clubs in the bags to do it, but like, God, if they did it, man, you would only not hear over Ethan screaming, right? I'm a big Florida supporter, and Ducati and I were talking about this. We're like, we're riding the Gators the rest of the way out. You know, We're going to be the second biggest Gator supporters on earth,
After Ethan.
behind Ethan. And that's the totality of all the Gator supporters right there.
Ethan, if y'all beat Texas, I will buy a Florida shirt and I will wear it with pride.
I will too. I'll wear it on this
I'll buy
podcast happily.
Hell yeah.
A Diego Pavia shirt just because I want one.
Same. I want Diego Pavia's shirt because, let's be real, he thinks Johnny Manziel is his hero.
So did you guys know that my brother-in-law Cole and Heather both are NMSU graduates?
Yes.
And that's where Diego came from. And then when Clark Lee went over and grabbed Diego, he grabbed like the whole coaching staff too. And so basically Clark Lee was like, "Hey, notice you guys beat Auburn. Can we do that again?" You know? So I was just watching this thing about how Hugh Freeze coached Liberty, right? And Pavia and NMSU beat Liberty. Hugh Freeze goes to Arkansas, and Pavia and NMSU beat Auburn. Excuse me, Auburn goes to Auburn. They beat Auburn, and then don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. So and then Diego comes over to the SEC just to beat Hugh Freeze again. So like, dude, Hugh Freeze checks under his bed every night just to make sure.
Oh my God. I love
his
that.
own personal boogeyman. There'll be a movie about it, dude. I'm telling you. There'll be murals in Nashville, Tennessee, dedicated to Diego Pavia.
There should be.
It should be the subtext of CFB 2024 : the Diego Pavia story. You know, that's just the film version right there. Anyways, Texas is gonna win, but horns down, right?
Horns down always.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think that Mitch is gonna pick Georgia over Ole Miss. Just guessing.
Carson Beck does not throw an interception. Write it down.
Lane Kiffin
pissed me off. Bold prediction.
That is the boldest prediction I've made all year. Carson Beck will not throw an interception. Put it in print. Dogs roll, baby.
Lane Kiffin annoys me, so I'm totally down for Georgia winning that game.
Did you hear about the text he sent Kirby? Did you guys see that? I don't know if y'all run in those circles. He sent Kirby. He and Kirby and like Nick Saban and all those guys. They're in a big group text. And,
of course they are.
Yeah, and Kiffin sent Kirby a text that said, "You ain't ready. Period. Period. Period."
For what exactly?
Said you ain't ready. Period, and then the word period followed by a period.
Oh Lord.
So that's just what Georgia needs is motivation. You know, anytime you tell Georgia they're supposed to win, they go out and play like they did last week. And anytime you tell them they don't have a chance, then they just pull your pants down. You know, that's how they do it.
Yeah, if you tell A&M that we should win things, that doesn't ever happen.
I tried to tell you. South Carolina was all about that. Nobody's listening. Nobody listens to Mitch. I would not want to. In fact, South Carolina is the team in the SEC right now that I don't want anything to do with. I don't want to play them. I don't want to play them. That's the team. I'm not even kidding around. South Carolina is rough. Those dudes are asking if you're going to eat the rest of your cornbread. Like, I'm not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes.
Shane Beamer is such a goober too.
Yes, the swag.
No swag. He is a goober. Goobers, by definition, do not have swag.
But if ever a goober approached swag, it was that one.
Now I've got the Goofy Goobers song in my head.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
All right, so we're going South Carolina over Vandy?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, I want Diego Pavia to have nice things.
He'll have nice things. He's getting a mural in Nashville. I told you. He's got nice things coming his way. But I'm telling you, if they had beaten Texas, Matt and I joked about this. We're like, if Vandy had beaten Texas, I was writing Clark Lee in the election. I mean, that was going to be my vote right there. And the fact is I'd vote for him today. Clark Lee, that's a man I can get behind. I want that man leading my country.
Hey,
that's a man I can get behind.
Phrasing.
This is fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Where am I wrong, dude?
I think South Carolina's going to crap the bed. After a big
Yep.
win, no way they win another game the week after. They might win another game, but not this week. I think Vandy's going to win.
They're
Okay.
going to be so excited about we beat A&M and rushed the field that they
Yeah.
forgot they have to play Vandy.
What they did after they beat Kentucky.
True.
Diego Pavia is a rider on the storm.
He is.
Give me the Doors.
He is. The Doors, baby.
I think we're pretty sure that Tennessee will beat Mississippi State.
Are we? I don't know. I feel like Jeff.
But
Levy's
will
about
they
to-
hold them under 20 points?
No.
I'm going upset city here.
Why not? Nobody paid $85 for picks.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's keeping track. Is anybody even writing this down?
I got it right here.
Mitch has it all in the
Actually,
steel
I have a
trap.
spreadsheet. It's all on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, honestly, I just say whatever I want on this show and
He
then
does.
reference the spreadsheet. That's what, mostly because if we were keeping score of what I say on this show, I definitely would be in last place, whereas I'm in first place on the spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet is the valid metric here.
Yeah.
Biased is in the name of the show.
Right. Just friend. Tennessee's got a spanking coming, but not this week.
No.
Okay, it's the next week. But I would not be surprised if you looked up in the fourth quarter and Tennessee was in a dogfight.
Yeah.
Surprised.
Alabama and LSU.
Oof, elimination game.
Love it.
I agree.
I can't root for LSU in my heart of hearts. I can't do it.
Can you root for either?
Alabama's not winning in Death Valley at night.
True.
I
got it.
And Nick Saban's going to be there. LSU's going to be lit.
I got Bama close. They're just cockroaches. You got to have your pointy boots on to kill them. Know that LSU owns any pointy boots this year.
New boot goofing.
I mean, they lost to A&M for God's sakes. They got to be terrible.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
Syndrome.
Gig them.
Gigs them.
I saw an A&M fan at the Texas Roadhouse the other night, and I had my Georgia. I had this hoodie on right here, and I walked by his table, and I gave him one of those, and dude just stared at me blankly, and I was like, I don't know, man. I think you might have stolen that shirt.
Oh.
I'm just saying, Sydney, LSU has 2 wins in Baton Rouge over Alabama since 2010. So the whole Alabama doesn't beat LSU in Death Valley.
Do you know who Alabama's coach has been that whole time?
That is a valid point. I will say, when it was Nick Saban on the purple sideline, they were a bit more successful.
All right. So we're going. I'm going to go Bama. I could see LSU winning this game, but I'm going to go Bama.
Oh, it would thrill me in the cockles of my heart if LSU were to win this game. I would be so thrilled. But sorry, just ain't happening.
Yeah, I'm going Bama.
And I've got Missouri over Oklahoma because Oklahoma can't do jack shit with anything.
I got Oklahoma.
But can they do jack shit with jack shit?
Ayo.
That's the question, because Missouri is bad, y'all. They're bad. I still think Missouri finds a way.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri winning makes A&M look better.
Transitive property.
Yeah.
We're back.
Is Oklahoma the worst team in the SEC right now?
I don't know. Mississippi State.
They're in a tight race with Mississippi State.
Because I feel like that at least Mississippi State is at least playing better. Like they got a little quarterback, and he can throw it around a little bit. They're not very talented, but that little kid's got some shake to him. Oklahoma has nothing. They are a dead carcass. They just
Which is
rolled
crazy
that carcass
'cause-
on the field.
Like they recruited pretty well. Like their defense has definitely massively improved, but it's like they flip flopped, right? It's like they went from a team that couldn't stop anybody and just
Right.
had to be in shootouts to now the only thing they're good at is defense, and they're lucky to score 20 points. And it's like, and Venables had Levy as his OC. Like
Yeah.
he had like the guy there, and then when he left, I don't know who their OC is now, but he's clearly no Jeff Levy.
It's a
Oh no, it was Seth Luttrell, right? And they fired him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's old Joe John Finley.
Hmm.
I couldn't tell you what Joe John Finley looks like, but I know he has been coaching in college football for at least 47 years.
He looks like a bucket of potatoes, dude. That's what it is. That's our offensive coordinator. Is that bucket of potatoes right there.
Oh, goodness. All right, my friends, that's all the games we've got. Thank you, Mitch. I know you're cold, so we'll let you go. We'll see
My
y'all.
fingers are permanently frozen in this position.
All right.
Bye, friends. It's been fun. We'll see
Thanks,
you.
Mitch. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right. We'll see y'all next week. I can't promise it'll be on Wednesday because, well,
We don't know when it'll be.
but we'll be there. Maybe.
YOLO.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Go Gators.
Whoop
Gig 'em.